So we're going to get started. So this isn't anything different than what we've been learning, right? It's still multi-step equations. The only thing that's different is our answers. And so those steps that are right up there, they're the same steps that we've been using the whole time. So the first thing, when you see an equal sign, what do you draw? The line, or what do we call it?
River.
River. So first I'm going to start with this example. Draw your river.
Yep.
And so none of this is new. None of this is new. This is all the same thing. It's just the answers that look a little bit different. Then it says distribute. So distribute means, what do I do to each term?
Multiply.
Multiply. A lot of people are adding. Make sure we multiply to each term. So 2 times 13 ends up being 26. And 2 times negative x is negative 2x. What do I do with this 2x?
Adding.
Bring him down, add him, equals 26. That's an equal sign.
26 equals 20.
So, remember, I'm doing each step in color, so if you guys have a question, just make sure, like, hey, I have a question about the black part, then you would ask about the black part. So, like, the next color I'm going to use is red. Then it says combine like terms on each side. So, are there any terms to combine on this side?
Negative 2.
Cool. What is negative 2x plus 2x?
Zero.
0, right? They cross out basically.
20.
So you end up getting, I'm going to just write 26. These cross out, I get 0, equals 26. See how there's no x's involved anymore? See how it's 26 equals 26? Yeah, we can't divide because there's no variables. We can move 26 to this side. How would I do that? How do I do that? Subtract, right? What is 26
Zero.
minus 26? 0. So you end up actually getting something that looks like this. 0 equals 0. Yeah. So if I get a number equals that same number, is 0 always going to equal 0?
Yo.
So we call that infinite solutions. Good job, Mark. And so what that means is, if I say like to infinity and beyond, that means forever and ever and ever and ever and ever, right? That means any number my little heart desires to put in there would satisfy that equation. So I want you to try it out in a few minutes, but first make sure, does anyone have any questions about that yet? Does everyone understand why we don't divide? Does everyone understand why we don't divide?
Yes.
Because we have no variable, right?
Yo.
Now to check your work, we do the same thing. What do we do though? Instead of putting x, what do I put in?
0.
Parentheses.
Parentheses 0.
We can pick whatever number we want.
So now, when you're writing it in, it should look like that. And some people are like, well, Miss K, there's no equal sign on the calculator. You're trying to figure out, does it equal 26 when I plug it in the calculator? And so infinite solutions, that means I can pick any number under that rainbow, put it in, it should equal 26 no matter what. So if Jocelyn picks negative 56 and Harley picks 125 and puts it in the x, it should equal 26. But make sure you use the same number twice. So Louise M, what number you want to pick? What? Any number. 12. Put it in both, and now put that right into your calculator. 2 parentheses 13 minus, don't put the negative. And make sure, like, see how there's 2 parentheses? Make sure to do both those parentheses. Put it, even though you're like, Miss K, I hate checking my work. I'm good. I don't need it. Make sure you still check your work, especially on that milestone, because God forbid you forget all this, you can always check your work by plugging in an answer. So does everyone know how to put this in your calculator?
Yes.
So I see some people focusing, and remember, we talked about that 100% focus. When you do it, who got 26? Remember, it's only this part you're putting in your calculator. Who got 26 when you put it in your calculator? Does 26 equal 26? So I know that's a solution.
Hold on.
So no matter what number you plugged in there, Harley wanted to plug in negative 100,080, and he did it twice. He should have gotten 26.
Then Gaudi.
Any questions on infinite before I move on? Okay, I'm gonna go on to this one since I'm short and I don't feel like going up there. So this one, first step is I draw the what? River. Then what do?
Multiply.
Multiply, or what is it called? Distribute. Now, do I subtract this first or multiply?
Multiply.
Do I multiply 4 or negative 4?
Negative 4.
Negative 4, don't drop that negative. So I move 4x down. What is negative 4 times 1?
Pablo needs to go to the front desk.
Okay, cool. So, what is negative 4 times 1? What's negative 4 times x? Beautiful.
Thank you.
So first, all I did, same 2 steps around. Beautiful.
Take your back and you left just on the same side.
Now, are there any terms here that I can combine? Are there any terms here that I can combine?
4x.
And don't drop that negative 4. What is 4 minus 4? 0. It crosses out. And you end up getting negative 4 equals 20. Now,
35.
how do you get 4 over there?
Add 2 on both sides.
Not add 2, add what?
Negative 4.
Add
Add
positive 4, right? So we get the numbers all on one side. And you end up getting 0 equals 24. No x's, nothing like that. I get 0 equals 24. Now, does 0 equal 24?
No.
No, not because I saw what Zalen was trying. Zalen was like, well, if I multiply this by negative 5, I would get 20. They don't want to know that. They want to know, does this number, is this true? Does that number equal that number? Does it?
No.
No. So because it doesn't equal that, no solution. That means not one number in the whole field of numbers I could plug in for x would get me 20. Nothing that I plug in, no decimal, nothing like that, would ever get me 20. So when you get 0 equals a number or a number equals a different number, it's always no solution. If you took Algebra 1 last year, you remember like parallel lines and systems of equations? Remember all that?
Yeah.
So that's what we're kind of leading off towards.
Mm.
All right, last one we're going over is this top one. And so the first thing I do, how many people know how to get a fraction into a decimal?
I thought you.
What? Divide it. So what would go in my calculator first?
0.
1 divided by 2. What do you end up getting? What is 1 divided by 2? 0.5, right? So we could change that to 0.5 if you wanted to. But all we do, we first draw our river. What is 0.5 times 18 or half of 18? 9x. What's half of 2?
1.
1. And then I bring everything else down. Then, is there anything to combine on this side?
Yo.
Which ones?
Not that 9x.
Now, this is a mistake I saw like 3 times last class. And I want you guys to tell me what they were thinking. Don't write this down. Don't write this down. Don't write this down.
Don't write it down. That's wrong.
Who could tell me what were they thinking and why did they do that? Amari. What were they thinking though? Like why did they do
I
that?
don't know what they were thinking. They DTN.
No, you were making sense. They were trying to get it over the what? What's this called? What do we call it? The river, right? When we combine like terms, we don't need to do the inverse. We just combine them. 9 minus 17. I see a lot of people, see how it's not over the river? You don't need to do that. They were DTMing, that's right, but a lot of people have been doing inverses to combine like terms. So now what is 9x minus 17x? Negative 8x. And then we bring everything else down.
Shut up.
Now, I already have the x over here. How do I get the constant or the number over to the other side? Subtract, right? And I get negative 8x equals negative 18. Now, how do you get x by itself?
Divide.
Divide.
Whoa.
Now, we know we're going to get a decimal. What is the decimal when you put that in your calculator? Negative 18 divided by negative 8. 2, not negative, right? Because we'd be positive because they're both negative. Does everyone remember how we reduce fractions too? Like what number goes into both 18 and 8? 2. And we divide it. That's how we reduce fractions.
What?
So sometimes they want your answer as a decimal. Sometimes they want your answer as a fraction. So to get it as a fraction, I just took this and I simplified. What is 18 divided by 2? 9 and 8 divided by 2? 4. And I can't simplify it. That would be my answer as a fraction, in case they wanted it like that. I don't know what's going on with my board. Cool. How do I check my work? Plug it in, plug it in. So what I want you to do, what did we say that 1/2 is the same as? 0.5. So I want you to type this in. And we know that 2.25 is our x. Minus 17 times 2.25. So I rewrote the top part, but instead of 1/2, we knew that we could put it in our calculator and get 0.5. And then for every x, I know that x equals 2.25. You could also put 9/4 in your calculator for x, and you should get the same answer. 9 divided by 4. When you get it, you should have gotten your answer as negative 17.
Yeah.
Did you get it as negative 17? Does negative 17 equal negative 17?
So,
So here's me happy as a clam because I know I got it right. So this would be one solution. The one solution, the only time it would work or that this x would be plugged in and get negative 17 is only when x equals 2.25. So if you get x equals a number, any number, it could be 1,520.2468. If you get anything equals x, you know it's one solution. If it ends up equaling 0 equals 0 or number equals the same number, it's infinite. And if its number equals a different number, no solution. Okay, we're going to do 2 practice ones. I'm going to still have this recording. So let's go through it quickly. But what I want you to do, I want you to try it on your own, these 2, and we're going to go through them. Oh, don't look at that.
what is it?
You guys you're turning over the mini quizzes right here.